KTTV, giving you what you need, motivation, education unleashed, H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories, thought-provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community, true indeed. Tune in, come and see, giving you what you need. KTTV, let's go. KTTV.
All right, what to do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm here for another episode of Education Unleashed. First off, thank you for joining us, everybody, for another episode where we shine a spotlight on people, programs, and partnerships making a difference in education in our communities. I am your host, Kendrick Thomas, KT, and tonight's conversation is one that every educator, college leader, nonprofit, parent, and community member needs to hear. When we think about student success, we often think about grades, attendance, or graduation rates. But behind every successful student is often someone who helped remove the obstacles standing in their way. And so tonight, we're talking to the leader of one of those places. Please help me welcome the director of the Cavalier Center at Bossier Parish Community College, Miss Sandra Roberson. How you doing tonight, Miss Sandra?
I'm doing great. Hi, thank you for having me on your Unleashed, Education Unleashed.
Look, it is my pleasure to be able to talk about the work that you do. I've been looking forward to such a long time because this is one of the times where I get to go back and highlight the things that are in my hometown. So I spend so much time highlighting things that are here in Houston, in Texas, really all around the country. But rarely do I get a chance to get home and say, job well done. So thank you for making a brother heart happy tonight.
Amen.
Hey, all right. Well, so for everybody tonight, we'll kind of jump into a little news, and then we will get into our interview with Miss Sandra. And of course, y'all know we got some rapid fire questions tonight. So without further ado, let's jump into a little bit of this news. All right, y'all, as I stated, before we jump into tonight's conversation, I want to take a look at what's happening in education. I know I always try to keep us abreast of what's going on, whether it's politics, whether it's political policy, anything of that nature. So tonight, I am bringing to us an interesting piece from This Week in Education, which asks a simple but important question. It says, there's a lot to talk about in career readiness. Have we thought it through? And so I wanted to try to find something that directly tied into the work that we're talking about tonight. And so this article challenges educators to think beyond the simply preparing students for jobs. It argues that true career readiness is about helping students build the skills, the confidence, adaptivity, and real-world experiences they'll need to succeed long after graduation. In other words, preparing students for a career just isn't about what's taught in the classroom. It's also about removing those barriers, building those relationships, and creating opportunities for students to thrive. And so that brings us to our guest tonight. And because before students think about careers, many first need help meeting their basic needs. And so, in my opinion, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but that's why the Cavalier Center actually exists. And so what I'll ask you, Ms. Sandra, when you hear career readiness, what does that mean to you? And how does the work of the Cavalier Center contribute to preparing students, not just for graduation, but for life?
I look at it as we're not just changing the lives of students, but generations. Yeah. So a student represents a generation. And so we take the holistic approach of taking care of the whole student. Mm-hmm. And so with that, the vision of the Cavalier Care Center, it was built to ensure that every BIPSI student here on this campus has the support, has the resources, and the opportunities needed to succeed academically, personally, and professionally. And so we have been known here on this campus to be a caring campus. Our logo is the Cavalier Care Center. Care is in our name. And so we want to make sure that every student, no matter what is going on in their lives, that we're here, we care about you. It was created that each student, to the success to extend beyond the classroom, and by addressing the basic needs, and removing those barriers to help students stay focused on their educational goals and persist toward graduation.
Mm, that's it. That's it. So I just wanted to kind of just jump in and kind of put that out there because as a high school assistant principal, always thinking about that college and career readiness. And so very hot topics, but as they said, are we really thinking this through? And so what I'll do is I'll put this article, the link to the article in the description for the YouTube, and so everyone can then go and then check it out. All right, that'll do it for the news section. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we are about to meet the leader of the Cavalier Care Center. We'll be right back. Oh. All right, y'all know we got the shameless plug. So we got merch, we got books, we got everything you need. Just go to kttv.com. We got it. All right, now jumping back into our conversation with Miss Sandra Roberson. Before we get into the incredible work that the Cavalier Care Center is doing, I love for our audience to get to know the woman behind the mission. And so, are you ready to get into this thing tonight, Miss Sandra?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's do this. So, many people see the Cavalier Care Center, but they may not know the person leading it. So tell us about your journey and what happened to you to dedicate your career to serve the students.
Well, my service started a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago. I started in healthcare and decided to go. I went to a community college just like any other student, not really knowing what you wanted to do, but I knew I loved helping people. Mm-hmm. And I got into healthcare, and from then just went up from there. A friend of mine, I went back to school like us later in life do, and moved here from North Carolina, and decided that I wanted to go back to school. And going back, non-traditional student, going back to school, wanting to get my bachelor's degree. Always mm-hmm. had a desire, and did. And I realized that not only did I go back, but I was a first generation student going back. So that was another barrier because no one in my family went to college. Mother and father did not go. And so me doing this I was the first to do it. And so being the first in my family to do it was even mind blowing because no one was there to hold my hand, So that led me here to the college where I have started in nursing, science nursing. They were building this facility at the same time. And they said, you know what, the vice chancellor and the chancellor said, no one is better than Sandra to run the Cavalier Care Center because of her heart and who she is. Yeah. And so I love people and I love seeing people win. And so when one person wins, we all win. Yeah. And so my focus is to help whatever it is that you need so we can get you through this journey, because the journey is a process. I tell students all the time, you're birthing purpose, and you're going to go through some birth pains, but you're going to birth this baby that God is giving you to birth. And so I call it birth and purpose.
Now, I know you said the story of, you say when one person wins, we all win. So what I want to do is I want to play one of the clips that you sent me of Miss Vanessa. And so when you're thinking about that one person, I want you to kind of set this up for us as we kind of talk about a little bit about her experience from the Cavalier Care Center, or do you want me to just play the video and then we'll go after?
Oh, absolutely. The video is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And she was one of the first candidates to ever set foot in the Cavalier Care Center. And as you hear her story, I want you to just put yourself in her shoes and realize that who she is and what she's embodied and what she's been through. And her story is so powerful, but she was one of many. She's one of many students. So yes, let's hear her story.
All right, let's check it out. Let's see here. Let me take off some of the pieces here so that way we can put her full screen. All right, let's do it.
Nanga. I studied phlebotomy, and I just received my associates from BIPSI this past December, as well as my certificate for phlebotomy and laboratory assistant. For the program that I was doing phlebotomy, I was in need of scrubs, but neither my husband nor I had a job at the time. I had to essentially stop working in order to pursue the program. And even though they didn't have it here, Miss Sandra through the Cavalier Care Center was able to fund me getting a pair of scrubs. She went far beyond the call of duty, and she handled everything, and I was blown away. This is the first time I've been to a higher institution where there was an office actually dedicated to helping students that have all these outside obstacles that prevent them from succeeding. Immediately upon coming in, the nervousness that I felt or the apprehension that I felt prior to coming in, she just received me with love, care, and understanding, because she was able to relate to me. And because of that, I was able to be successful. This is a place where you come to get healing. You know, if you are at your lowest, which I was ready to quit school, and she was the one that was like, you know, I'm this close to graduating. And sure enough, 2 semesters and a summer later, I walked across the stage. We were homeless. We essentially had been homeless for years, and there was absolutely no way to facilitate us getting any type of home of our own. And she walked me through the process of going through the different programs that are offered, whether it was Section 8 or Housing Authority. She even helped me navigate a few apartment guides, and she showed me how to look for things for my family, because it's 7 of us. You know, I applied in like December, and it should have been like a 2-year waiting list, but the Lord saw fit to give it to us in 3 months. Whether it was, you know, a snack for the day or dinner for the family or Christmas, because my kids wouldn't have had Christmas without the Cavalier Care Center at all. The fact that we had Thanksgiving dinner because of the Cavalier Care Center. You know, they chose our family to be one of the families they supported through that and supplied us with Thanksgiving dinner. Whether it's paying for cap and gown, because had it not been for the Cavalier Care Center, I would have even walked across the stage. I would have just tried to wait for my diploma to come in the mail. But Miss Sandra was like, no, you've earned this. You deserve this. And ever since then, it's just been one step after another. You know, letters of recommendation, interview tactics, you name it, she has a way of helping you achieve it. I went from being homeless, 5 kids, husband, both in school, not having the things that I need to actually participate in the program that I've been accepted to graduating with my associates from BIPSI, to having a place to stay and call our own, to helping me find outside tutoring for my kids, you know, making sure we have food stamps, you know, that medical treatment, if we needed take home COVID tests, like all the information that student services and the Cavalier Care Center do together. I mean, it just works in conjunction. And without them, I would not be here boasting of the success that I've had. I know that for a fact. Come here to speak with Miss Sandra here in the Cavalier Care Center because the first thing that she's going to do is see you as a person, not judge you for the difficulties that you've endured or the choices that you've made, but to see you as a whole person and your potential to develop and progress.
Mm. Wow, that was powerful, Miss Sandra.
Yeah.
So now, just to sum that video up, when someone asks, what is the Cavalier Care Center? How do you describe it in one sentence?
Mm. The Care Center just represents BIPSI's commitment to building a culture of care, compassion, and student-centered success.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. Because it immediately, from just those words or that video, it immediately shifts how people think about support, right? Because once again, as I stated, you think about grades, you think about graduation, but just like the Maslow, like there are a basic set of needs
Yes.
that had to be met before she can even get to that level to even focus on school, right? Because mama, she got to think about how these kids are eating, how are we living, and then I can now think about math, science, English, and social studies. So I totally get that. Now, and you may have said this when we kind of opened up, but what was that vision, or what did Bipsy recognize that led to its development? They said, okay, we got to make sure that we have something set up. Just tell me, what was it that led to you getting there and they saying, we need you, Miss Sandra, to do this?
They were building it, and the mission was to support the whole student. We saw students having difficulties with the basic stuff, getting to school, hunger. Hunger is real on the college campus. We think, well, the student gets financial aid, they're fine. That's not true. When the student comes, the student has many barriers. Some are single parent households. Some are homeless. Some have difficulties just being able to come to school every day, travel. We have different obstacles. These students have number, as Vanessa said. I had a mountain load of obstacles, barriers I had to get through. Our mission is to support the whole student by connecting them with essential services and resources, promoting wellness, and creating a caring environment where every student feels valued, where every student feels supported, and every student feels empowered. And that is my goal, is to empower you, to give you the tools that you need. And the Cavalier Care Center, I say all the time, it's a hand up and not a handout.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Lift you up.
That was very powerful. Okay, so what we'll do, now that we know a little bit about you, know a little bit about the mission and the vision of the Cavalier Center, let's take a quick break. And then when we get back, I want to kind of go deeper and looking beyond that classroom and talk a little bit more about what students at Bipsy can expect when they come into the Cavalier Care Center. So we'll be right back. All right, y'all, welcome back to Education Unleashed. I am your host, Kendrick Thomas, KT, and I'm here with Director of the Cavalier Care Center, Miss Sandra Roberson. Hey, Miss Sandra.
Hello.
All right, so now looking beyond the classroom, one thing that I appreciate as I've learned and researched about the Cavalier Care Center is that it recognizes students are more than a GPA.
Absolutely.
So many people assume college success is only about academics. From your perspective of being in this role for so long, what have you seen? Because I guess you think about Miss Vanessa, and when did the Cavalier Center first open?
The Cavalier Care Center actually opened right around during the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So when students were home, they didn't have any technology
Yeah.
to help them, and they were home trying to do school.
Yeah.
Our chancellor, Dr. Rick Bateman, the vice chancellors, they got together to buy technology, and we started the Chromebook loan program. And that's how that started. I would go out and drive out to people's homes just to deliver technology to them so they could be able to academically get on to be on the platform so they can be able to do their work.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
simple as that. I was driving around the city, giving people Chromebooks so they could be able to do their work online, because everybody was online at the time. Yes.
Yeah. So now you think about those needs then, and here we are coming into 2026, essentially 6 years later.
Yes.
In your opinion, what are some of the biggest non-academic barriers that are facing the students today, post-pandemic?
Post-pandemic, one thing is food insecurity. We don't even realize how many students face this every day. We noticed that every time a student would come in, whether they rode the bus, they don't get to eat. That was a big, huge reason why the Cavalier Care Center was built. Food insecurity, students not hunger. Hunger is real on college campuses. And the Cavalier Care Center created that. We got a USDA food pantry. So we do two things. We're the first initiated college food pantry that offers food and wraparound services. So we do twofold. We house a USDA food pantry, and we help students with SNAP, child care assistance, Medicaid, all these other resources that we have. We have a cap and gown corner, a dress for success closet, a Chromebook loan program, a calculator program. Then we've added a hygiene corner because we have international students. So those students are not able to receive state funding because they are international students. So they're not U.S. citizens. So we created that corner so students could have the basic needs: toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, body wash, to give a sense of dignity back to our students, to let them know we care about you, and we care about your well-being. We created not only that, we've also added a diaper and wipes corner for our students that are non-traditional students that have small babies, and now a formula station so they can get free formula. Formula is $75 a pack for a month, and that doesn't last forever. We saw these barriers and we decided, hey, we got to do something about it. And BIPC has demonstrated a strong commitment to student success by recognizing that education is about more than academics. It is about supporting the individual as a whole, and establishing the growth of the Cavalier Care Center reflects the BIPC investment in the student. We noticed that when student utilizes the Cavalier Care Center, they doubled in retention rate, success rate, and graduation rate.
Put the numbers on it then, Ms. Sandra.
Exactly.
Now, I think for me, so my story is I moved to Houston in 2003. I was 23 years old, and I listened. I said, "Mom, I got to go," and so she said, "Well, why don't you just graduate and then move?" It was no time for that. Like, my friend called me Thursday, and he came and picked me up on Tuesday. I was out, but oh my God, it was so many nights when I was like, "Man, I should have listened," because that undergrad life. When I tell you it was some hungry nights, especially close to the end of graduation, because then I had to stop even working at the school Because I was going like, when I tell you full time, we talking full time. And so for me, it's just amazing that sometimes people don't understand. So I'm just glad that, and I bet a lot of people will be surprised tonight just about how much students are carrying before they ever step into that classroom. But also amazed that you all really do support the whole student. And so, as we get deeper into the Cavalier Care Center, just explain to us what a full day looks like. You are dealing with students.
My day is never boring. That's trust me. This is a place of love, a hope for students. On the average semester, we see about 700 to 800 students a semester. That's just in the giving. We've given out this year alone over 20,000 pounds of food. A student is eligible for 125 pounds of food a month, every month. Mm-hmm. They can come in weekly, but this is the beauty of having the Cavalier Care Center. It is not just for the student, it's for our faculty and our staff. We even have staff who utilize the Cavalier Care Center. So that is the icing on the cake. We get to open this facility up, not just for our students, but our faculty and our staff as well. So we help everybody. When I say everybody, so we also have free food on campus all day long. So students can come in. Everything in the Cavalier Care Center is free. A student don't have to pay one dime for anything that's utilized in the Cavalier Care Center. If they need a Chromebook, they can get it for free. If they need a calculator for math, they can get it for free. If they just want a snack for the day, some students come in, they get off the bus, they travel 3 buses just to get here. They don't have time to eat breakfast, but they know this door is going to be open. They can come in and get free breakfast in the morning. There's breakfast, coffee, drink, juice, pastries, waiting for students when they walk through the door. Not only do we have food accessible, food insecurity, we're 3rd in the nation of food insecurity. I am on the Feeding Louisiana Council for the state. I was the first person doing this role in the state. Didn't realize it. Representative Barbara Freiberg, she was working on House Bill 888, the Hunger-Free Campus Bill. And that the reason why she authored that bill was because 2 students came to her and told her how food insecurity was big on the college campus. But she didn't have the data. She didn't have a person to back up the story until someone down in Baton Rouge told her, hey, you need to call Sandra Roberson. She's the boots on the ground that is doing the work. She can put truth to the story. And I wrote a letter to her, and my letter was read on the House floor. I was asked to come to legislation to help pass House Bill 888. It's Act 719. It passed unanimously, and John Bel Edwards signed it into law. So now we have over 37 campuses that are hunger-free campuses in our state today.
Wow, that's so powerful. That is so powerful. What I want to do is I want to jump into another one of those videos, because like you say, when you think about the first to do it, that is really setting the precedence. And so you are worth celebrating for that. So I'll play this clip. And then I'll, just if you want to kind of fill us in on what was going on outside of what they say, then we could do that. But let's jump into it.
The nonprofit organization Louisiana Goes to College hosted its 5th annual trunk giveaway to first-generation college students. This year, they partnered with Bossier Parish Community College because they wanted to highlight the Cavalier Care Center. NBC6's Miriam Samake has the story.
First-generation college students are a part of the most at-risk students to drop out of college. The nonprofit organization, Louisiana Goes to College, helps fill in the gaps of support with school supply giveaways and mentorship.
I wanted to come out, and there was a very good support system. I want to show appreciation and thanks to Louisiana Goes to College as I came out.
Graduating high school students also volunteer to serve as a resource.
Our families have, like our parents and stuff, went to college before, so we were able to get the help from them. But we do have friends who are, again, like going to college as a first generation, setting the standard for their family. And so we're also there as a tool and resource.
The nonprofit hosted their event at the Cavalier Care Center in Bossier Parish Community College because it is the only one like it in the state. It has a free food pantry, career closet, support for housing and childcare, and much more.
Most colleges have food pantries, but Cavalier Care Center actually have a wraparound service. And so we would like to see that extended to first generation college students across the state.
Director of the center, Sandra Roberson, says that this center is a hand up because they are not investing in an individual, they are changing generations. She spoke to legislation and House Bill 888, which was passed in June of 2022, will establish a hunger-free campus and give funding to universities to have a center of their own.
So many students have come through the door. I want to quit. I'm done. I said, you can't quit. You're almost to the end of your journey. And what can I do to support you in your journey?
Miriam Samake, NBC6 News.
Another powerful story. Another powerful story. Moments like those are what remind you of why this work matters.
Absolutely.
And so now, thinking about that, just recently, and you could say if you have any, what have been some moments recently that just reminded you, ever since then, of why this work still matters 5, 6 years later?
Wow. Because one of my students, his name is Oliver Love Jr.
That boy.
I don't know if I send you his story. He's autistic. I tell him autism is his superpower. And he's a first generation college student to graduate from both sides of the family. And when he came to me, he was failing every class. Students brought him to me and said, Miss Sandra, what can you do to help him? I said, we need to regroup and we need to figure out how to get you across the finish line. Do not quit. He said, I don't even think I'm college material. Graduate of Woodlawn High School and came to college, but he was taking too many classes and wasn't passing any. I look at him, and now not only did he graduate from BIPSI, December the 12th, this is why I do the work I do. Because to see him cross the finish line, to walk across the stage, become the king of BIPSI, create his own anime club on the campus, an introvert, and decide now everyone knows his name. He's a household name on the campus. His art has been published. He's a great artist. And he is just bubbling all over. Not only did he graduate from here, December the 12th, but Oliver also is now a BIPSI employee. So coming from that, this is what I mean, changing generations. Now I know that it can be done. It is proven. It's been said that it can be done. We can change the life and history of a student, one student at a time, one day at a time. We can do it. And this work is just, makes me believe every day, you got this, we got this. And so I'm just excited. And when I see his life and how he's grown and developed and graduated, and then be the first on both sides of the family to graduate and be successful, and then come back to the college and then have a job, it means everything, because it's a hand up for our students and not a handout. I want to see students win. I want you to go on. I want you to do more. I want you to go further in life, because guess what? I believe in you. All it takes is one person to believe in you and your vision and your dream. And I believe in every one of them that set foot in my office.
And I imagine that this work has really surprised you
Yeah.
in ways you never expected. So my question would be, what is something that has surprised you the most since leading the Cavalier Care Center?
Being able to bring change in legislation
Yeah.
to help move the needle. We are not first anymore in the nation. We're third, but we're moving the needle. And so I continue to fight. Every year I go to the Capitol. I speak with our legislation. I tell them how important this work is. But to see other colleges have this on their campus was a eye-opening for me. When Dillard University, Xavier University, University of New Orleans, none of them had this on their college, not even LSU. And so in Louisiana Tech, now every one of those colleges has one of these on their campus. That is a game changer because now students can feel like someone cares about me. You have to have the empathy and love in your heart to want to see other people's dreams come true. And I want to see other people be successful.
Most definitely. All right, what we'll do is I want to jump into some of the partnerships because we know no one organization can do this work alone. So what we'll do, we'll take a quick break and then let's kind of jump into some of those people that help as you give those wraparound services. So we'll be right back. All right, y'all, welcome back to Education Unleashed. Whoa, who's that lady back there? Welcome back to Education Unleashed, where we are talking to Miss Sandra Roberson, the director of the Cavalier Care Center over at Bossier Parish Community College. Woo! My hometown. Let's get it, y'all. Hey, Mom, I'll see you back there. All right, so now, this is what I want to know as we talk about partnerships. What role do community partners play in helping students succeed?
We are named Bossier Parish Community College. We have to bring the community into this space. The Cavalier Care Center has over 40 partners. I have an advisory board, and that advisory board is made up of community partners. And that's bring everybody into your space. Let them know we need the community to help the students, help these generations to succeed. If you don't get people to buy in, then why are we here? The community has to be a part of your vision. You can't leave the community out. So community partners are big here. And I am a person, I don't want to email you. I want to come to you. I want to talk to you. I want to build a relationship. I want you to build a relationship with me and the Cavalier Care Center and build a relationship of trust and hope and success for each student that comes through the door. So I am all about getting out in the community. If we don't build that bridge between the community and the college, then why are we here? So that is a big, big thing for me, having those partnerships outside of our community. And with Bossier, we believe in that. Community has to be a part of what we do, every day. Our partnerships are 40 in numbers. We have an advisory board every year meeting, and the advisory board loves what's taking place in the Cavalier Care Center because they see the work that's being done, miracle after miracle after miracle. So I love that we have these community partnerships that is so huge in helping to remove barriers, and together through compassion and the partnership, we can continue building a stronger and more successful Bossier community. And that's
when you think about, listen, what did you say?
Yes, that's with any school. You
Yeah.
know, you build these stronger and more successful partnerships, building close connections, bringing the community in. Then this is the village.
Yes.
The village helps raise and build these people to be successful human beings out in the workforce. So this is huge. And I don't think people realize it. Um, it's you just said it earlier. Maslow's law,
Mm-hmm.
taking
Basic.
care of the basic needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you bring dignity and hope to an individual, you've changed the whole person.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And now, how can businesses, nonprofits, churches, and community members become involved with the Cavalier Care Center? I see this, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that. I want my organization to help. What do they do?
They can give to our Cavalier Care Center. You can volunteer. We have volunteers. You can volunteer. You can give donations. You can give to the Bossier Foundation here and have it addressed to the Cavalier Care Center. When you give back, whether it's donations, whether it's giving hygiene products, you are giving to a student, you are giving to a family, you're giving to every student that comes through that door needing toothpaste, needing deodorant, needing a body wash. You don't understand that one little thing. And this is the thing on Bossier's campus. Each department, we have a drive, a hygiene drive. Every year I do a bike drive for parents who can't afford Christmas for their kids. They'll come by and they say, Miss Sandra, you know, when I was growing up, I didn't get a bike for Christmas. My mom couldn't afford a bike. And so getting a bike is like getting a Cadillac Escalade. And so every year, the Cavalier Care Center gives bikes away to families that their babies need something for Christmas. We have given out every year up to over 200 bikes. We've given out bicycles every year. That we do a bike drive every year. Anything that the Cavalier Care Center monetary, you just write a check to Bossier Parish Community College, the Bossier Foundation, and say, hey, we want to give this to the Cavalier Care Center. You can do that. Also, Bossier has it where as an employee, we give partial check. Part of our check goes to the Cavalier Care Center and the Bossier Foundation. Every time I get paid, piece of my check goes to the Cavalier Care Center and our foundation. And so the Bossier Foundation is huge on the campus. We're caring for our students. We have our science and nursing students. We have our engineering students. All these students need this support system. Without it, some of them would not make it through. And that's just the bottom line. Yeah.
Now thinking about the leadership, got a program, school, just saw the podcast. They say, I need to set this up for my college. What advice would you give to another college that wants to build a support center like this from scratch?
Everyone has called me.
Yeah.
Everyone has reached out and say, Miss Sandra, how do I do this? Matter of fact, I have a college, Centenary College, and you know where Centenary is here in Port Bossier area, came to visit me and said, Miss Sandra, how do we get this going? How do we start? The first thing is to start by getting a pantry in your area and starting small. You start small and you build on that. And so I tell anyone, students need food all the time. And so one thing about our college, food is accessible anywhere on campus. We even take food to our learning commons in our library. So students can, while they're studying, while they're tutoring, they have food accessible in that area. We take food to our nursing students who are in classes all day long. Some of them don't get out of class. For 8 hours, they're here. And this is their job. So why not have food accessible for them? So we make sure our nursing students and our medical students have food accessible as well. But everyone can come to the Cavalier Care Center at any time and get food. Yeah.
Mm. Now, looking forward, because I know the work continues to grow. When you think about the Cavalier Care Center, what excites you the most about the future?
Expanding. Expanding.
Yeah.
Because this is bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
We can do more. We can do more.
And if it's one program that you say we can expand tomorrow, I think we need to expand here, what would that be?
Oh, I really want to put a clinic on campus.
Mm. Oh, that would be huge. Yeah,
we partner with the David Rain Center, and I know you know the David Rain Center. That's one of our
guys.
Right. So our nursing students, our students always they need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have medical insurance, but the David Rain Center will take you without any insurance, and they will take you and see you. And not only that, you can pay as you go. And so that's the beauty of having that partnership with the David Rain Center. They see our students every time, whether it's a toothache or just getting your titers or just needing, not only do they see our students, or you just needing health care, period. Yeah. Not only do they see our students, but then they house a pharmacy on their campus where they can give you medication as well. But they not only see our students, they see the students' families. If their child has to go to the doctor or a husband has to go to the doctor, significant other, they will see them as well. So that's the beauty of having these partnerships and utilizing, as I say, taking care of the whole person. You know, we can help them with their education, but we need to help with taking care of the whole person.
Yeah, most definitely. As we get ready to land this plane on this part of the interview, 5 years from now, what impact do you hope people will say the Cavalier Care Center had on 50 students and the community?
The legacy that I want to leave is I hope I made a difference. I hope I was impactful in your life. I hope that this one individual wanted to see you win and saw you win and walk across that stage. You don't know how happy I am every time I go to graduation. Because the very student that said I couldn't did. Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And when I say this is not just a building, this is kingdom work. And when we take care of the kingdom, all these things will be added.
Hey, there we go. There we go. What a way to close this part out. All right. So what we'll do, we'll take a quick break.
Yes.
And then when I get back, we're going to jump into some rapid fire. And then I want to give you one more thought and an opportunity to close us out on the right way. So we'll be right back with some rapid fire questions. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Education Unleashed. Here we go. Rapid fire.
Go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, or go home.
All right, now, Miss Sandra, we're gonna have a little fun with this section right here. So what I want to do is I'm gonna say a phrase or a sentence. I may ask you a question,
Yes.
but you have to promise that you're not gonna think about it. You just gotta give me what happens and what comes to your brain. Are you ready?
I think so, yes.
All right. First one. Leadership is
Caring,
service means
support,
hope is
love,
every student deserves.
an opportunity to succeed.
One word that describes Bipsy.
Caring campus,
The Cavalier Care Center is
a place of hope, support, and opportunity.
so now one misconception people have about today's college student.
That they have everything at their fingertips, and that's not true.
Ooh, the best advice you've ever received.
As a leader, lead with love.
One thing every community should invest in.
Your people.
And one word you hope students feel when they walk into the Cavalier Care Center.
Love.
Love. I knew you was gonna say that. I knew it. I felt it. All right, y'all. That is
Love. And that someone is there for you and to encourage you. I'm a big encourager. When you say you can't, I say you can. You can.
Yeah.
Hope is real, and I believe in that we can do all things, not some things, but all things.
Yeah, but they say if you believe it,
you can.
It's gonna happen. Amen.
Listen,
now,
but I realize you don't have to be the smartest apple on the tree. Just be the most determined one.
Yeah, that's it. I promise.
Tell a student you can't give up on you. You are your greatest investment. The more you invest in yourself, the better you become, the more self-sufficient and independent you become. Invest in you. You are your greatest commodity.
Now, this is going to be the final question.
Yes.
Before we close out. And so I like to ask you the question that we ask every guest because someone is watching that may need to hear your answer. So if a student who feels overwhelmed, discouraged, or unsure whether they belong in college is watching today, what would you want them to hear directly from you?
You can. When you tell me you can't, we turn that around to you can succeed. You will succeed. And believe in yourself. But the most thing is that give yourself a chance to win. Take a chance on you. We invest in everything else. Why not investing in ourselves? We have the latest technology. We have the latest vehicles. What am I doing for me? What am I investing in myself to make me a better human being, a better person for my community, my nation, my world? And the most thing, where are you making impact? When you are on your job it's a job, yes, your career. But where are you making impact? Are you doing what you have been commissioned to do? And that is to take care of people.
Most definitely. Well, that's the mic drop section of the podcast tonight. So, Miss Sandra, as we close this out, I want to say thank you so much for joining today. Your passion for serving students is evident. And the work happening at the Cavalier Care Center is a reminder that student success isn't just about academics. It's about removing barriers, restoring hope, and creating opportunities. And to everybody watching, if tonight's conversation inspired you, please like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, consider how you can support the students and organization making a difference in your own community. This is KT, and I have my host, Miss. I'm gonna let you tell.
Sandra Roberson.
Yeah, director of the Cavalier Care Center at Bossier Parish Community Center. This has been a good one, y'all. So remember, when we invest in people, we transform our community. This is KTTV signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KTTV, is that right?